Yeah, شكرا.
We're now live, Sheikh. And Sheikh, we're now live.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير خلق الله أجمعين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome once again to another UCT Arabic class, and today inshallah we will start with exercise 2, but before that we'll go into the recap inshallah of what we done last week, and then afterwards we will continue with exercise 2. Last week we done Aqsam al-Kalam. We spoke about the parts of speech, and we said that the Arabic language is broken up into ism, harf, and fi'l. So ism, we said it is a word that has a meaning in itself, but does not indicate time. So there's no tense, there's no future tense, present tense, or past tense. It's just a word that has a meaning in itself. It can be a person like Muhammad, a place like Mecca, a thing like Qalam. So all of these words, they are words that have meaning in itself. And the harf, we said it's a particle. So the harf is a particle. Let me just write it down there. It is a particle. And it is a word that has an incomplete meaning by itself. And it does not indicate any time. It has to be attached to something to have a complete meaning. And we gave the examples, for example, by saying in does not have a meaning, a complete meaning. But if you say in the house, you have some idea what you're speaking about. So the boy went to the shop. So we have to the shop, went to the shop, and it has a complete meaning if it's joined with another word. And we see the fi'l, the verb, that we'll speak once we do the verbs, inshallah. So the harfu jarri, we see it is the prepositions. And harf, we see it is a particle. So the particle of jar will be the prepositions. And we say that those that you are doing in these lessons will be the fi, min, ila, and ala, which is the in, which is fi, min is from, ila is to, and ala is on. And then we went on to mention the i'rab of the ism. So we see the grammatical states of the ism are 3. We said, let's use a different color. The first is marfu'. And we see the marfu' is the default and normal state that a word is in. And the sign of it will be the dhamma. An example will be waladun, al-waladu, bintun, al-bintu, and so forth. Masjidun, al-masjidu. So we see the 2 dhammas or 1 dhamma. It can either be 2 or 1 dhamma. It does not matter. The main thing is that there's a dhamma. And that is a normal set any word is on. So any word, the normal set of it will be that it will be marfu', and it will have a sign. The normal sign of it is a dhamma. Then we move on to majroor, and we see it's caused by an operator, an amil, an operator, something changing it to majroor. Because we said that the default and the normal state it is a dhamma, but now it's changing from a dhamma to something else. So it's caused by an operator, something actually there that is changing it to majroor. So it's not naturally majroor, something's making it majroor. And its sign, its normal sign is a kasra. And example will be waladin and al-waladin. So either one with 2 kasras does not matter. The main thing is there is a kasra. Mansub, mansubun was the third one. Again, it's caused by something, caused by an operator. And the examples will be wala, dan, and wala, al-walada. And it's very important to note that when we have 2 fathas, we usually put a alif. So you put an alif after that. So the alif usually comes after a letter if it's ending and it has two fathas. We'll see examples of it as we go along, inshallah. And just to do an example very quickly, we have here al-baytu. The default, because nothing is attached to it, nothing's changing it, it will have a dhamma. And it has only one dhamma because it has al, we know that. If the word has al, it can only get one case ending. But here we have fil bayti. Why? Because there is an operator operating on it and causing it to get a kasra, which is the harfu jar, the particle of jar or the preposition, if you want to say it. The fi is making the word al-baytu, making this word al-bayt to become al-bayti, because it is operating on the word that follows it, and it is al-bayti. So it changes from al-baytu to al-bayti. Okay. And likewise, we have the al-maktabu al-maktabi. So if you look at al-maktabu, it is marfu' because it's on its default state, which is a dhamma. So therefore it's marfu'. And al-bayti, sorry, no, this isn't bayti. We're speaking about al-maktabu. So al-maktabu is default because it is a dhamma, therefore it's marfu'. Al-maktabi, al-maktabi is majroor. Why? Because it has a kasra. We said if it is a kasra, it is majroor. We've done that. Then we moved on and spoke about the dhamir, al-dhamir, the pronoun. So the pronoun. And we see the pronoun she's speaking about is huwa, hiya, anta, and anti. Anti, with the kasra there. Anti. Okay. So we said that huwa, so huwa, it means he, or it can mean it, referring to a masculine word. Hiya means she, or it can mean it, referring to a feminine word. Anta means you for the masculine. Anti means you for the feminine. And ana means I. It does not mean me. It does not mean me. I do not know why I said me. Doesn't mean me is a different word for me. So we're not gonna use me there. So ana means I. Then we moved on and we spoke about the ism, and we see the ism is broken up into mudhakkarun and muannathun, which is masculine isms and muannath, feminine isms. So we have mudhakkar isms, which is masculine isms, and we have muannath isms, which is feminine isms. And we see the way, how do you know if an ism is masculine if it does not have a ta marbuta? And how do you know if ism is feminine if it has a ta marbuta? And therefore the pronoun you will use for a ta marbuta, for ta marbuta will be here, because here is for feminine things, and huwa will be for a word without a ta marbuta. So if it does not have a ta marbuta, you will use huwa to refer to that word. If it has a ta marbuta, we will use here to refer to that word. Okay. So that's basically what we done last week. So let's move on to this week exercise, inshallah. Exercise 2, this is found on page 22. Okay. So it says there, اقرأ واكتب مع ضبط أواخر الكلمات. Read and write with vocalizing the ends of the words. So the last case ending, you have to pronounce it. So this one will be al-madrasa 2. And why is it 2? Because we have the al, you don't get one case ending. Let me change the color so you can see it much better. Make it red. So al-madrasa 2. Why? Because of al, and it is its default state. So because it has a dhamma, we know it is marfu'. This one, fil madrasa T. Why is it T? Because the fi is operating on al-madrasa T, making it a kasra, and therefore we know it is majroor because of the fi. Fil bayti is majroor, and we know now why we said is majroor, because of fi making the word get a kasra. But if you don't go too far, Let me ask Brother Abdullah, inshallah, to do this for us. Brother Abdullah, are you there?
Yes, Sheikh.
Inshallah, Brother Abdullah, it will be nice if you can, inshallah, go through all of these things from Al-Madrasatu all the way to Fil Masjidi and try to repeat it twice. So those who are listening can try to answer before you or will repeat with you, inshallah, and to see if they actually know the answer. So when you are saying the word like Al-Madrasatu, they would then see if they could identify it before you have mentioned it. So just to see if they can pick up the signs that if there's a fee, it'll get a kasra and so forth. And if there's no fee, it'll get a dhamma because it's a default. And if it's a dhamma, it will be marfu. And if it's a kasra, it will be majroor. So Brother Abdullah, just read this for us, inshallah, and repeat it twice, inshallah. You can start, inshallah. Faddal.
Yes. المدرسة المدرسة في المدرسة في المدرسة في البيت في البيت 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 الغرفة الغرفة الحمام الحمام في المطبخ في المطبخ المكتب المكتب على المكتب على المكتب على الكرسي على الكرسي السرير السرير على الكتاب على الكتاب في المسجد.
Jazakallah, Brother Abdullah, mashallah. I hope that all of you at home could have worked out when it gets a kasra, when it gets a dhamma, and so forth, inshallah. So, Jazakallah, Brother Abdullah. Let's very quickly do the translation of each of these words so that we have some idea. Al-Madrasatu will be school, the school. Fil Madrasati will be in the school. Let me just do it on top of the word so it's easier. In the school, because fi means in. Fil bayti will mean in the house. Al bayt will be the house. Al ghurufa will be the room. Al hammamu will be the bathroom. Remember we said al hammamu is the bathroom and not toilet. The word toilet will come later on, inshallah. The bathroom. Fil mawdbakhi will be in the kitchen. Al maktabu will be the desk. Al maktabi. So ala we said it means on, so it will be on the desk. Al kursi, on the chair. As-sariru, the bed. Al kitabi, on the book. And the last one, fil masjidi, in the mosque. Okay, so let's continue, inshallah. So it says here, Iqra, which means read, and waktub means write. Remember, whenever we see the word waktub, you have to write it out again. So you write it on top of the word. So for example, in this one, al-kitab, you will write down al-kitabu, and so forth. So just get good practice with your writing skills as well, inshallah. So Iqra, you have to read this, and then you have to write it out again. So you have to write this whole thing. Al-talibu fil jami'ati, you will say al-talibu fil jami'ati, and so forth. And of course, you put all the vowels on jami'ati. Al الطالب في الجامعة and so forth for each one of them. So we will go through this and I'll ask Brother Abdullah inshallah to read it out for us. As you can see that the skills you are developing, we are about to read entire sentences without any vowels, and you have to keep in our minds the rules that you have to apply on when to change the case ending. So we know that there's a fee. Because there's a fee, we'll change the case ending to a kasra, because the default is a dhamma. So in this word here, it is al-talibu, because the default it has to be a dhamma. And because we've done that before, that this is the mubtada, and the mubtada gets the dhamma and so forth. This is the beginning of the sentence. But we will ask Brother Abdullah inshallah to read this out for us. And again, those listening, try to work it out before Brother Abdullah recites it, so that you can see if you can understand the concepts and apply the rules that we are learning so far, inshallah. So Brother Abdullah, are you there?
Yes. Sheikh.
So inshallah, you can do the same with the sentences all the way down to 10 min al-fasli. We'll read it and repeat it twice, inshallah, so those at home can see if they can recite this with the rules that we just have done now, inshallah. So Brother Abdullah, you can start with the first and go all the way down to number 10, inshallah, from number 1 to number 10. رقم 1 إلى رقم 10 inshallah.
Inshallah. الطالب في الجامعة. الطالب في الجامعة. الرجل في المسجد. الرجل في المسجد. أين التاجر؟ هو في الدكان. أين التاجر؟ هو في الدكان. القلم على المكتب. القلم على المكتب. أين زينب؟ هي في الغرفة. أين زينب؟ هي في الغرفة. أين الورق؟ هو على المكتب. أين الورق؟ هو على المكتب. أين المدرس؟ هو في الفصل. أين المدرس؟ هو في الفصل. أين ياسر؟ هو في المرحاض. أين ياسر؟ هو في المرحاض. الشمس والقمر في السماء. الشمس والقمر في السماء. من في الفصل؟ من في الفصل؟
Jazakallah, Brother Abdullah. Alhamdulillah, we have completed that. And I just want to do the translation of these things so that we can understand what we just recited. The reason why we did it first, because we should try to understand the rules and how to apply it. But now we'll do the translation of them, inshallah, so that we can know them very well. So let's do the first one. Let me just take this away. الطالب في الجامعة. So it means the student is in the university. الجامعة في الجامعة means in the university. الرجل في المسجد mean the الرجل means man, so the man is in the mosque. The next one we have the أين التاجر وفي الدكان. Where is the merchant? He is in the shop. Next one, القلم على المكتب. The pen is on the desk. أين زينب؟ هي في الغرفة. Where is Zainab? She is in, because fi means in, the room. أين الورق؟ هو على المكتب. Where is the page? It is on the desk. So remember, huwa refers to something that is masculine. So ورق is masculine. Okay. أين المدرس؟ هو في الفصل. Where is the teacher? مدرس is teacher. It's a masculine word because it does not have marbuta. So he is in the classroom. أين ياسر؟ هو في المرحاض. This word مرحاض means toilet. So مرحاض means toilet, and حمام means either bathroom. So okay, it means bathroom. Hammam is a bath. Hammamun, so it's bathroom. But remember that toilet is mirhad. So أين ياسر? Where is ياسر? هو في المرحاض. He is in the toilet. الشمس والقمر في السماء. The sun, الشمس means the sun. هو means and. القمر, the moon, is in the sky. Sama means sky. Man fil fasli. So this man fil fasli, who is in the, we done fasli really? Yes, we done it. Classroom. Is in the classroom. Okay. So alhamdulillah, we done with that. We're moving on to something new. I'm not sure if you noticed, but when we spoke about Zainabu, we said Zainabu, and we did not say Zainabun. So why is that? Let's do some concepts very quickly. We're going to do something known as al-mamnu' min al-sarfi. So this is indeclinable words. Basically, it is words that have no tanween. And restricted to only two case endings, which is the dhamma and fatha. This all maybe made sense, inshallah, shortly. So we have al-mamnu' min al-sarf. Mamnu' means is restricted min al-sarfi, from change. So it's indeclinable words. So the first type of them, you get types of mamnu' min al-sarf. You only be doing one for this. There are many. So the types of the al-mamnu' min al-sarf. Now the first one you will be doing is names that are feminine in meaning and or structure. Okay. So far, just a recap. We see that we are busy with mamnu'u min as-sarf. So we see it's dealing with indeclinable words. So those are words that have no tanween. So this word can't get a tanween, and is restricted only to two case endings, which is a dhamma and a fatha, meaning no kasra. So this word cannot take a kasra. It can only take a dhamma or fatha, and it will not have a tanween. So there are many types. The type we are doing now, there are names that are feminine in meaning or in structure. So what does it mean? Let's do the examples. So Aminatu, it is a feminine name. So it is feminine in meaning because it's a feminine name, and therefore in meaning it is feminine. And it is feminine in structure because it has a tamarbuta. So the word, it is feminine in meaning and structure, and therefore it is only one case ending. Why? Because it is a name and it is feminine in meaning. Amina, we hear Amina, you think of a female name. And structure, it has a tamarbuta because you said tamarbuta words are words that get a, what basically is feminine. Zainabu, again, it is feminine in meaning only. It does not have a tamarbuta, and therefore it gets a case ending on one. And remember, we see that it gives a dhamma because it's a default, it gives a dhamma, nothing's making it to kasra, and so forth. Fatima too, it is feminine in meaning plus structure. Maryamu, only meaning. Aisha too, meaning plus structure. Khadija too, meaning plus structure. Safiya too, meaning. Basically, most of the feminine names are meaning and structure. Ruqayya too, meaning plus structure. So it's very important to understand that words that are feminine in meaning and in structure or in meaning only will be mamnu min al-sarf, meaning that they will have no tanween. So all of them here, they will have no tanween. So tanween, tanweenun, no, and no kasra. Okay, but fatha and kasra, yes. We see it meaning and we see it here and or structure. So it's not mentioned here, but let's look at masculine names like Talha. Talha, it's the masculine name. Talha too. Why? Again, this is structure only. It's feminine in structure only. It's a masculine name. Another masculine name will be, for example, Hamza. So Hamza two only. Why? Because it's structure only. It's feminine in structure only, and therefore it will get only one case ending. And if you look at the male names, because you speak only feminine female words, structure meaning, that will have two case endings. Muhammadun, why? Because it's masculine and masculine in structure and meaning. Masculine in structure and meaning. Khalidun, Hamidun, masculine in structure and meaning. Yasirun, masculine in structure and meaning. Ammarun, masculine in structure and meaning. Sa'idun, masculine in structure and meaning. Aliyun, masculine in structure and meaning. Abbasun, masculine in structure and meaning. But Talha too, it is masculine in meaning, but feminine in structure only. So we have to just put that there. So feminine in structure only, feminine meaning and structure, feminine in meaning only, feminine. So we know we speak on feminine things and not masculine things. And that is feminine. Okay. So that's just there, fast to note. So Brother Abdullah, are you there?
Yes, Sheikh.
Okay, inshallah, we'll do this again. And now we try to identified from all of these words here how many case endings we'll have, because we've done mamnu' min as-sarf, indeclinable words meaning that they will only have one case ending, and that case ending will be either, meaning it will have two types of case endings, which is the fatha and a dhamma, but it will have only one, meaning it will have no tanween. So hami, I'll do the first one, hami, dun, why? Because it's masculine, and therefore it gets two. Zainabu, it is feminine. You only get one because it's the meaning, but this is feminine in meaning only, not structure. It's feminine in meaning, and therefore it gets one. So basically, feminine words, feminine names, it has to be a name, feminine names will receive this one case ending. So, Brother Abdullahi, let's go ahead, inshallah. You will read it out, repeating each one twice, and those at home can see if they were able to work it out to note when we're going to give two case endings and when we'll give only one case ending. So, Brother Abdullahi, you can repeat each word twice. Tafaddal.
Yes. Hamidun, Hamidun, Zainabu, Zainabu, Aminatu, Aminatu, Ammarun, Ammarun, Sa'idun, Sa'idun, Fatimatu, Fatimatu, Maryamu, Maryamu, Aliyun, Aliyun, Khalidun, Khalidun, Abbasun, Abbasun, Aishatu, Aishatu, Muhammadun, Muhammadun, Safiyatu, Safiyatu, Khadijatu, Khadijatu.
Jazakallah, Brother Abdullahi. We will end there off today, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, I hope you benefit. I don't want to go too much into this today, inshallah. So we will end off there. It's a lot that we have done today. So just remember those concepts that we learned today, inshallah. Just to recap, what we learned today was the mamnu' min as-sarf. We said al-mamnu' min as-sarf is indeclinable words, meaning words that have no tanween and restricted to only two case endings. Basically two types of case endings, meaning dhamma and fatha. So it's only two types of case endings, the dhamma and the fatha. There will be no kasra at all. So there's no tanween. So they will only have, like mentioned here, either a dhamma or a fatha. And we said what types of mamnoon min as-sarf do one get, and we said we're only dealing with the one. Now there are many more, but we're only dealing with this. Those are names, very important names that are feminine in meaning and or structure. And we've done that, and we spoke about it in detail, and we gave examples, and we added on the male names that are feminine only structure will also get one case ending. And with that, inshallah, I'll leave it there, and I'll hand it over to Brother Abdullah. Wa akhir da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
Shukran, Sheikh, for today's wonderful class. Now I'll open the breakout rooms and feel free to join them to ask the tutors any questions that you have. Shukran.